Great, thank you. David, you've heard that maybe previous race, shorts and T-shirt. You've had a tougher experience going through the Southern Ocean. It's been a race of ups and downs for your team. It's been also the accomplishment of a 20-year dream. Tell me a little bit about what it feels like when you cross that finish line and you realize you've closed the circle, the race is over, and what your team's accomplished here.
Oh, well, to be fair, that's a very difficult situation and a very hard question to answer because, yes, it's a 20-year dream and, yes, there's been massive highs and lows, but, you know, for me it's very, very difficult to sit here publicly and say that it was good and I, you know, because my decision to compete in this race cost my best mate his life. And that was the first thing I remembered when I went across the finish line. And, you know, I think it's disrespectful of him if I say this was fantastic and a wonderful experience, because if I had the choice again, even though it was my life dream, I wouldn't do it. But in saying that, you know, there's been some tremendous things for our team come out of it. And when we had the boss on for the last leg, he's extremely passionate about the race now. It's probably, hopefully not in his blood, but I think it might be. And, you know, I have the utmost respect for everybody sitting here. I mean, anybody that, you know, you go to any yacht club around the world and you have a beer and somebody will tell you who should win and who's doing what wrong and, you know, what we should be doing running a campaign. And, I mean, they have no bloody idea what they are talking about. Unless you're here, sitting here doing it, they have no concept of reality. So the good thing for me is I don't need to listen to that rubbish. I can just ignore it and smile now. But I think, you know, for us, for our team, and also Dee for her team, I think the amount of young people and first-timers we had on board and the way they grew and developed as sailors as well as people was, for me, probably the most pleasing thing out of it.
Sorry, one question to Dee. Today there was the first woman winning the Volvo race, Karen Brown. Do you defend that the compulsory rule about mixed gender on board should be maintained, or should we that rule?
I think you're asking the wrong person, because I'm obviously a little bit biased. It's these guys that you need to ask whether they would naturally take a female sailor or whether they need a rule to make them take a female sailor. Because in the future, that will be the telltale. So maybe you should ask all of these guys, but they might not answer right now.
What do you think about that rule? You were against.
You're very perceptive. You're very perceptive. Yeah, there's someone else up here that wasn't real keen on the rule either. But yeah. I wasn't not keen on the rule because it didn't get women into the sport at all. I mean, I run a 100-footer in the world. There's only 5 in the world, and I'm the only 100-footer guy that's got women on board, right? So I'm all for women in sailing. I'm not anti. No matter what you read on Facebook, I'm not anti it. I think the test would be if the rule was taken away. The test would be how many women from this race would be in the race next, and I think that's your answer. Has that worked or not? I don't know the answer to that. I think the rule has worked well for this race because it's given women more of an opportunity to be involved in the race. But the future of whether it's worked or not, we'll see in the next few years. I would like to think it is. I mean, we've got 2 women on board. I know for a fact that Bessie, who's a local Dutch, is probably the toughest human being I've ever met in my life, and probably the maddest. So whether that means she gets another ride or not, I don't know. But I think time will tell. Go on, someone else say something, please.
You said it all, mate. You're always smart. Anyone else? Anything else? All right. Well, once again, thanks to all of you for the time you've taken over the last 9 months to do these, for helping to get the story out. We greatly appreciate it.